Magic Coins is Michael Reeves' second contribution to My Little Pony, making him the first person to write for the franchise more than once since George Arthur Bloom. After writing such a heavy story that involved just about everyone for the Return of Tambalon, Reeves would take a very different approach towards the Magic Coins, and it would be, in my opinion at least, just as good, if not better than Return of Tambalon. My only complaint, which is a complaint I also had with Tambalon, was that it was too short, as there was so much more story to be told and adventure to be had. Similar to Star Trek's The Voyage Home, the Magic Coins would not have a central main villain. It would instead feature a pony versus nature conflict with an ongoing disaster forcing the ponies into action. With no villain breathing down the ponies' necks, the story could concentrate on the adventure and the ponies themselves. The Magic Coins would also spend much of its time focusing on a small group of ponies, allowing them to be fleshed out a little more as characters, and these were some of the best choices to concentrate on. Part 1 opens with the ponies, Megan and her siblings having a picnic by a stream. Danny isn't all that exciting, then a butterfly backs him and tripping over the picnic basket to get the Danny must be humiliated moment out of the way quickly. So BBC ponies find a half-buried chest in a nearby stream bed and bring it on shore. The chest is full of coins with different markings on them.
I wonder where they came from. Virtually anywhere, I would say. There are a myriad of springs and rivers in Ponyland strong enough to carry it here.
Considering the force needed to lug that thing, I would think bone-shattering torrents would be a better description. Galaxy believes that there's more of these coins than meets the eye, but Gusty brings that discussion to a close by closing the chest and suggesting they play a game of volleyball.
Hey, wait a minute. Where are we gonna get a ball to play with?
Maybe you should have thought of that before you suggested playing. Fortunately, Fizzy is there in fashions, one with her bubble magic to get to playing. In the meantime, Baby Lickety-Split wants to eat, but Megan says that they have to wait. You could at least let her have a snack. If nothing else, it would shut her up. When Sweet Stuff goes for the ball, she has a mother of all wipeouts as she slides clear across the picnic blanket and crashes into the chest, scattering coins everywhere. Megan suggests that they clean the coins up later and to get back to their game. Such are the hazards of playing ball with a unicorn. Fizzy goes to make another, murmuring how she wishes her bubbles were stronger. As she does this, she unwittingly steps on a coin and it disappears. She makes another bubble, but it's much bigger than she wanted it to be, and then she makes a whole lot more with unusual ease. A couple of the bubbles envelop Molly and float off with her. While it seems fun at first, Molly gets scared as she floats higher and they need to get her down. Moon Whistler grabs the salt shaker and suggests salting the surface of the bubble to make it pop. She takes Megan up and pushes Molly over the nearby pond. Megan salts the bubble and it pops, and Molly falls into the pond so that the baby sea ponies can take her to shore. With the drama over, Baby Lickety-Split goes back to thinking about her stomach and wishes that they had more food. As she does this, she steps on another coin and it disappears like the last one. Their picnic basket suddenly starts spewing food, and Will Whistler makes the connection that the coins must be responsible for what's just happened. Megan adds that the markings on the coins must also represent what wishes the coins can grant. However, a sudden storm blows up and ends the conversation and their picnic. Baby Lickety-Split, being pissed off as well as a little turd, wishes that it would never rain again and stomps on another coin, which disappears as well. The storm suddenly clears up, but everyone, including the music, finds it strange. Ponyland begins drying out, as we've learned it's been weeks without any rain. This sends us into the first song of the arc, Oh for a Rainy Day. Much like Where Have the Unicorns Gone, this song is on the somber side as the ponies sing about how they wish it would rain soon.
Not gonna rain again ever. I made wish.
Even as a kid, I wanted to reach through my TV screen and strangle her for that. For anyone who thinks I'm too harsh on Baby Lickety-Split, remember she almost destroys Ponyland and she's damn proud of it. I just wish someone on screen scolded her for being the stupid, annoying, arrogant, selfish little turd she is. However, they instead decide to look more closely at the coins, but when they go to look in the chest, it's empty.
Heartthrob, did you use any of those coins?
Well, yes. But only one, and it was for such a good cause. Poor Sweet Stuff's makeup was positively ruined by the heat.
Ponies wear makeup? Whatever the case, the coin turns Sweet Stuff into a clown. Will Whistler suggests the coins could be dangerous if they don't know what wishes they grant exactly. Magic Star stored the rest, so she goes to get them.
There are only 3 left.
There had to have been thousands or at least hundreds in that chest. Where did all the others go? I guess some ponies were busy over these last few weeks. Unfortunately, none of the 3 coins stopped the drought.
Ponyland's gonna dry up and blow away.
And it's all your smug little turd of a daughter's fault. They decide to ask the moon chick about him. Along the way, they find the baby sea ponies beached in a dry riverbed to end part 1. Before moving on to part 2, I want to point out the odd eye animation in part 1. For some reason, non-twinkle-eyed ponies have their irises taking up their whole eye like in the movie, and their pupils seem to not be on what should be a subject of their vision. I don't know if this was an attempt to make them look more like real horses, but compared to the eye animation of the rest of the series, it seems off. Part 2 opens with the ponies figuring out what to do for the baby sea ponies who suddenly have their floats, despite not having them at the end of part 1. The ponies also have their normal eyes back. I know I complained about the inconsistent animation of the Glass Princess, but I'll let it slide here because this episode doesn't suck in every other aspect of its existence! Obviously, baby sea ponies minus water equals trouble. Wizard comes in telling that there's a pond nearby, and Megan splits them into teams. Ribbon, Wizard, Lofty, Adult Lickety-Split, Danny, and Molly are sent on baby sea pony duty, while Megan takes Wind Whistler, Fizzy, Gingerbread, Galaxy, Magic Star, Heartthrob, and Spike with her to the Mush Romp. This is where we get into the small group thing. Much of the main episode will be about Megan's group. I think Reeves picked this team because these 6 ponies represent the strongest personalities of the 3 species. We have the intelligent and logical Wind Whistler, the flighty and romantic Heartthrob, the rambunctious and courageous Gingerbread, the superstitious and cautious Magic Star, the bubbly and innocent Fizzy, and the wise and intuitive Galaxy. Poor Gussie is the 3rd unicorn out, but she probably would have just been beaten up by something to prove how serious the situation was. For those who say that the G1 ponies were interchangeable, watch this episode. These 6 are just as diverse a cast as the characters on Friendship is Magic, and hell, I'd even call them the prototype main 6. Anyway, we have an odd animation error that pops up a couple times in this part. Fizzy is shown to have sapphire eyes instead of ruby, but that's not really important. This is actually the first appearance of the Moon Chick since the movie. We saw the Mush Romp in a brief scene in Glass Princess, and he was mentioned in Return of Tambalon, but this is the first time we actually get to see and hear him. Tony Randall, like much of the bigger name talent, didn't stay on past the movie, so Charlie Adler provided his voice for the series. The Mush Romp also seems to have become more populated with windows and doors made of the mushrooms, so I guess some toads moved in.
I don't suppose everyone can enjoy the comforts of modern technology like Abbott and I.
I see Habit's Sisyphean existence hasn't changed much since the movie. Megan shows the Moon Chick the coins, which he recognizes from somewhere. He goes into his library and starts throwing around books looking for one which he happened to have been using for a seat cushion. Hab, of course, has to put it right in front of his face for him to be able to find it.
There's a lot to be said for a well-organized library.
You have to love the Moon Chick. He never fails to be entertaining. The coins belong to Niblick the Troll, who lives in the Crimson Canyon on the other side of the Jewel Desert. Since the coins are his treasure, only he can reverse their effects. He's also particularly nasty, even by troll standards. However, there's no other way, so Megan and the others head out. In the meantime, the Pond Wizard found already dry as a bone, and the Sea Pony group has no choice but to move on. They did a very good job of showing just enough of the play to the baby sea ponies to keep it in the audience's mind. Unlike the voyage home where the whale probe turned into a MacGuffin during Kirk and Crew's time in the 20th century, we get the occasional reminders of why the main group is doing what they're doing while not letting it get too distracting. The artists also did perhaps too good of a job of animating just how sick the baby sea ponies are. Megan's group reaches the Jewel Desert, which is filled with jewel plants, so I guess there's no false advertising here.
Death to my complexion.
You're covered in fur. You don't have a visible complexion. They ration out what water they have, but Spike vaporized it with a sneeze, so Galaxy splits her share with them. Unfortunately, they still have a lot more desert to go. As they trudge along, Megan suggests a song because we have to work one in somewhere in this part. Let Us Song Carry You Along is an upbeat little tune, however the best part is at the end when Spike comments that it only tired them out even more. Nice job, Megan. Magic Star finally collapses from thirst. Looks like it's the end for our intrepid little band. However, Wind Whistler suggests Galaxy punctures the crystal cacti. Galaxy pokes a hole in one and water comes out. I always liked this scene for some reason. The group takes a chance to hydrate and fill their canteens. The same can unfortunately not be said for the Sea Pony group, who have found yet another dried up body of water. They can only move on. In the Jewel Desert, Galaxy has the eerie feeling that they're being followed.
Hiya, hiya, hiya! My name's Puck. Who are you?
What's an RPG type story without the random helpful NPC who seems to have no reason to exist beyond helping our heroines? Puck's a little annoying at first, cutting everyone off and randomly poking Magic Star in the nose. However, he makes up for it for knowing how to reach Niblick and offering his services. Galaxy still feels like they're being followed, and this is confirmed by a bunch of goblins chasing after them. Puck tries to help them find an escape route, but they end up at a dead end. Megan decides to use the coin to scare him off, and knowing goblins hate light, she uses the coin with the candle on and creates a bright flash. The goblins book, so it was a good use of the coin. The next morning, Puck takes Megan and the ponies to Niblick's place overlooking the canyon. Niblick has a drawbridge system, and a guy I've dubbed Prince Loser wants to cross.
I'm off to slay a dragon and rescue a damsel.
I hope by slay the dragon you mean getting it to die from laughing at your voice, and as for the damsel, she better be desperate. Niblick demands his crown as a toll. Prince Loser complains at first, but eventually capitulates and throws it to him. Niblick lets him cross and throws the crown onto a pile of treasure, which I'm guessing are his latest tolls. Megan and Pony start crossing the bridge, telling Niblick that they found his coins. However, he stops them about halfway and asks where they are. When they say that they spent them, he throws a fit and starts bringing up the bridge with them on it to end part 2.